Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be about my PlayStation 2 stuff, mainly the games, only the games. So in my game room video, I didn't really go over everything in too much detail, but uh, to be fair, there are a lot of titles I'm missing, but there are also some titles I'd rather actually get on the PlayStation 3, which I'll go over in just a little bit. So I guess I'll start up here. We have the Dot Hack games, which I haven't really started yet at all. But I got this I think I got this for $10, which is an amazing price for just the first game, in the series, along with Mutation, which isn't even that much more expensive. I think that's like 20 to $25 for that, so that's not too bad. I would like them to maybe release a Dot Hack collection in the future. I know they have Dot Hack GU for the PS4, which I might actually get at some point because it's fairly cheap now. But the original Dot Hack games, I don't think they actually have anything for. They might have it on the PlayStation Store, but aside from that, I don't think they have anything else. Next games, I love the Ape Escape games. I think I got this for like $20. This was a really good game to pick up. It's to be completely honest, I don't like the second one as much as I do the third one. The first one is like one of my favorite PlayStation 1 games, but the entire series, I would have to say the third one is what really, really made me like Ape Escape. Like, I love this game a lot. So, I mean, if you don't never have heard of Ape Escape, it's essentially you just capture monkeys in a net. It's a lot more fun than that. Like, you use a bunch of different gadgets and you traverse levels trying to capture every single monkey, and usually by the end of the game, if you haven't caught every single monkey, you haven't truly beaten the game, because there's usually like another ending. So it's a really fun game, or a game series. And even the second one isn't really that bad. It's a really good game too. I just don't like it compared to the other two games, but it's still really good. So we got Beyond Good and Evil, a game I have not started yet. You'll see a running theme of that because, when you buy games and you don't play them, and it kind of backs up to this whole mess. So, but I am slowly but surely trying to beat games and trying to get that done. Bionicle Heroes, this is an interesting, kind of like a third-person shooter, actually. You switch between the different Bionicle Toa heroes. I think that's what they're called, Toas. I've been so out of the loop of Bionicles. I used to play with Bionicles as a kid, but I can't remember for the life of me anything about Bionicles. Bloody Roar 3, a really awesome 3D fighting game. I absolutely love 3D arcade style fighting games. This one is a awesome game. If you can pick this up for a decent price, definitely get this. Bully. Yeah, you like to bully people? I know I do. But yeah, one of Rockstar's lesser played games, honestly. I love this game to death. I just honestly wish they would do like a sequel or something, because it's such a good, it has such a good story, and the combat and all the characters are just, it's all wonderful, and it's got excellent writing. Burnout games, I got two, which is Point of Impact and Burnout Revenge, which I played Burnout Revenge the most of any Burnout game, or of really any racing game, besides like Mario Kart, of course. But yeah, Burnout Revenge, this is a really awesome one. You get to side swipe the opponent cars, and when you do, If they had previously crashed into you, you basically have gotten your revenge, which is like a side goal in every race. Like you want to try to get your revenge against your opponent cars that have basically screwed you over, which is a really cool like feature. And they also have the I think they brought back like the destruction mode where you just like crash into stuff and then explode a bunch of things, which is pretty awesome. Classic Call of Duty, the Capcom Classic Collection, which has, yes, 22 classic arcade games. I found this for like $3, which was an awesome deal for a bunch of these awesome Capcom games. A Castlevania game I should probably play, Lament of Innocence. It's a 3D Castlevania game, which still has like the Metroid, the Castlevania style gameplay from like Symphony of the Night. So, don't mind this game. I have it for humorous purposes, of course. Clock Tower 3, a horror game. Yes, I have never played the original 2, and I would like to at some point, but I think the original Clock Towers on like SNES, I think those are European and Japanese only. I don't know. I haven't really delved into Clock Tower that much, but I found the third one for a decent price, and it can be scary. I played a bit of it. You get chased by characters, pretty scary characters. A game that I would love to have. I think it's just like this. I was actually just playing it with a friend. Haunting Ground. I want to get that game desperately, but it's so expensive. It's almost not worth getting because of how much money it costs to get it. Crash Twinsanity. Surprisingly, it's fun, but it can also be super frustrating. Also, I want you to take a look at that. You got all these different moves, and then of course the E rating covers the censored move. Thank you, Crash. Why I have 2 copies of Crazy Taxi, I have no idea. I think I just picked this up because it was a black label, but honestly I don't care. I'll probably sell one of these. Probably the red label one. What the hell am I doing? Get in there. Thank you. DDR. That's pretty much it. Dark Cloud. An awesome RPG. Frustrating because I'm stuck in it, but it's still really awesome. If you haven't already purchased this game, get it like right now. It is a awesome game. And the second one's even better from what I've heard, because I haven't played this one that much because I was trying to get through the first one, but again I got stuck. Darkwatch. I actually beat this game recently. It's a first-person shooter, much like Time Splitters. You kind of have like a double jump. It's basically like you're a vampire, you get turned into a vampire, and you slowly build up like your vampiric powers. You have a double jump that kind of mimics Master Chief's in Halo, which is really weird. But yeah, you have an arsenal of weapons, bunch of vampire and zombie killing weapons, so pretty fun. It was kind of frustrating on the final boss, but I guess I'll leave that to you to find out if it was frustrating or not for yourself. Devil May Cry. I'm gonna go back a little bit. So I think earlier I mentioned I want to actually get rid of some of these games in favor of like the HD collections, which includes Devil May Cry. But I don't know if I want to actually get rid of these, maybe keep them as part of the PS2 collection, because I actually already got rid of Sly Cooper, all my Sly Cooper games, and the main series Ratchet and Clank games on PS2 in favor to eventually get the HD collection versions of them. I still have Jack 1 and Jack 3. I don't know what happened to Jack 2. I think I sold it. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing. So if you don't see some games in this collection that are really like obviously the Sly Cooper games and Ratchet and Clank games. That's because I want to get the HD collection versions of them. So I don't know if I'll hold on to the Devil May Cry games. I might, and then I'll probably get the HD versions anyway. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, Devil May Cry. I also haven't started those games, but heard they're all great, except I think 4. I don't know if 4 was a really bad one or not. I don't really remember. Anyway, Disgaea. I've heard very good things about Disgaea, which is why I picked this up. Strategy turn-based RPGs. I love them to death. I get sick of them easily, though, because I've played RPGs a lot, and when you play an RPG for such a long time and you beat it, you kind of just want to play some mellow games that don't involve too much, like, RPG stuff. So, kind of taking a small break from RPGs. The Dog Island. It's the Dog Island. Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball Z. You got Budokai. You got Budokai 2. You got Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which this one I got from a family member. I got this for free, which I was really happy about. I hear this game is really expensive. So, yeah, pretty cool. This one is probably my favorite out of all these other ones. You also have Super Dragon Ball Z. Like, I've heard mixed reviews about this, so it's still not too bad. Dragon Quest VIII. I also have this on 3DS, so I can have it on the go. But this is a pretty good Dragon Quest game. I've played a little while of this. You know, basic RPG. I mean, if you played any other Dragon Quest game or the original Dragon Warriors, then this game is perfect for you. And it's got a really awesome story to go with it. Dynasty Warriors. It's basically any other Dynasty Warrior game. Just a bunch of people on the battlefield killing each other. Fatal Frame. A take a picture of a ghost game. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit spooky too. I actually played a little bit with my girlfriend. She said she didn't really like it, which I can understand why, but yeah, I still think it's kind of creepy. Final Fantasy X and X-2? Yeah, X-2. Barely played these games. I have Final Fantasy games, but I haven't really started any, except for the very first one, which I've gotten like 15 hours into, which I don't know if that was a good choice. Maybe I should have played the other ones and maybe go back to the original, but I don't know. I just want to start at the very beginning. So, yeah, currently kind of playing through Final Fantasy for PlayStation 1. I don't have the original Final Fantasy. Frequency. This is basically I think it's a predecessor or a prequel to Amplitude, if you've ever heard of it. It's like a rhythm game where you have to complete lines of music from each instrument in a song, and it's kind of cool. I've played Amplitude more. They re-released a version of Amplitude on PS4, which was really cool with a lot of really awesome songs on it. Anyway, Fullmetal Alchemist. I beat this one. This was a really cool game that takes place during the original series. Not Brotherhood, obviously, but yeah, this is a really cool story. Edward and Alphonse are still searching for the Philosopher's Stone, and they come across a city that has a lot of secrets and stuff that, well, they don't want revealed, but these two obviously want to see what's going on. So anyway, this is definitely a really awesome game to pick up. And speaking of which, the second one I haven't started yet, but this is also a really good game from what I've seen. So definitely pick these up if you by chance see them. Gauntlet, Dark Legacy. I love Gauntlet games. They are just basically button mashing attack games. I love games like that. It's very arcadey. I love arcade games. It's a perfect mix. This game, I am on the final boss, and I cannot defeat it for the life of me. Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. This is a really cool game. You have the ability to slow down time and basically counter every opponent's attack at a certain point. You can be surrounded by like 20 dudes, and as long as you time it right, you can kill like every single one of them instantly with one time stop and a counter, which is really cool. But you have to pick up these like items that enhance your time stop ability, and that's kind of what I had a problem with. I don't think I picked up enough of those because the final boss does this thing where he attacks multiple times, and every time you use said item, it drains a huge chunk of like this meter. It's really confusing, but at the same time, it's a really cool game. Definitely want to go back and finish it, because again, I'm on the final boss, and the final boss is annoying. Grand Theft Auto games, I mean, if you've played one, you've played them all. Guitar Hero 2, it's a pretty fun, I mean, it's Guitar Hero, it's obviously going to be pretty fun. Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland. A Harvest Moon I haven't really played that much of. I've played A Wonderful Life and Magical Melody the most. I have not really played this one that much. I actually have Harvest Moon on my 3DS, the original one for Game Boy? Yeah, I think that's the one. Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. I used to own this game a very long time ago as a kid, and I never really understood it, but I played through it a few times. It's a pretty easy game to beat. It's just like courtroom, Phoenix Wright kind of stuff. It's really not that hard of a game at all, but it's just supposed to be like a humorous game to the show, which if you haven't seen the show, it's a really funny show. I mean, in my opinion. Hitman, it's the trilogy box. This is like the only big box PS2 collection thing that I have, which is really weird. I honestly want to get some more, maybe even the Metal Gear Solid games on PS2 just to have them. Because I have the Legacy collection on PS3 for Metal Gear Solid, but I don't know. I always like these big trilogy boxes. iNinja. This is a really awesome platforming game if you haven't heard of it. It's about a ninja who accidentally murdered his master and he has to revive him. So, pretty cool. Ico, or Eco, whatever you want to call it. This is like the... I don't know if this is the... I don't even know what this really is, because it's... I don't think it's a prequel or a sequel to Shadow of the Colossus. It's just its own game. But, yeah. People speculate and say, like, oh yeah, this is a part of the Shadow of the Colossus thing. I don't really think it is. Indigo Prophecy. This is made by the same people who made Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain. There was another game on, I think, it was either Saturn or Dreamcast, I can't remember, or it was a PC game, I forget. But anyway, this is one of their bigger games that they first started out with, and it's about a guy who basically commits a murder unbeknownst to himself, and he's trying to figure out why he did what he did, and it's a really freaky story. Jak and Daxter and Jak 3. I've played a decent amount of Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. It's fun platforming, and haven't really started Jak 3 because I haven't beaten the first one, or let alone the second one, because I don't have the second one currently. Jaws Unleashed. Want to murder people on a beach? Well, then that's the game for you. Just Cause. It's a very janky game. It's not the best one. Honestly, the sequel, the sequels to that game are a lot better. Katamari Damacy. I got this game for free because I bought a bunch of games from a video game shop online, and I could pick any game with points, and I picked this one. It's a cute roll over kind of game. I don't know what I just said there. I don't think that's I don't think that's the best way to describe this game. It's a game where you just roll around and you roll over stuff and you get more stuff and you create these big balls of garbage, basically. It's pretty fun. King of Fighters. It's a fighting game that I kind of like. Go figure. La Pucelle Tactics, or I think that's how you pronounce it, but I just picked this up in Seattle, so I have no idea what it's about. Legacy of Kain, Defiance. I want to get through Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. It's in there somewhere, but yeah, haven't really played this one either. I beat this game on GameCube, actually. This is a pretty awesome beat 'em up kind of game, if you want to describe it as that. But yeah, you get to play as Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, and you get to kill orcs, goblins, and Uruk-hai. Fun stuff. Marvel Nemesis. Have no idea what that's about. Haven't played it. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This is a really awesome game, and they are actually coming out with a third one soon. So, pretty excited for that. Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. It's biking. The Maximo games. These are spiritual successors to Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins, those kind of games. This is a pretty good 3D adaptation of that. Max Payne, I beat that game. It was frustrating, but I loved the story. The comic book style cutscenes were really cool. Haven't touched the second one at all yet. I might at some point soon. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. This is pretty cool. I think I'd rather get like the Legacy collections on like on a more recent console. Maybe on the 3DS, honestly, because that way it's portable. Same with the Mega Man X collection. This is really cool to have on PS2, but I think I'd rather have it like portable. Midnight Club, it's a racing game. Midway Arcade Treasures. This has a bunch of fighting games, old school fighting games. There's kind of a list of them. Yeah, each one of these arcade treasure titles, I think the first one was like shoot 'em ups, and the third one is racing games. This one is more or less like arcade style fighting shoot 'em up kind of games. So it's pretty cool. Mojo, I have no idea what this game is. I was just given this game for free, so it just kind of ended up on the shelf. The original Monster Hunter. I am a huge Monster Hunter fan, but this is a game I have barely touched because, again, this is the original one, and if you played any of the recent Monster Hunter games, going back to this is it's kind of a chore. Because there is a lot of stuff that is not in this version of Monster Hunter that is fairly lacking in a lot of stuff compared to what they have now, which is kind of what a game series should do. It should always expand and hit new horizons with really cool stuff. But anyways, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It's a fighting game. Sorry if I sound bored, but a lot of, like, if you haven't heard of Mortal Kombat, then, like, it's kind of your own fault. Let's just not talk about this game. Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles. It's a fighting game. Again, like, if you've played one fighting game, you've kind of played them all, especially, like, games like this, like, these remind me of just like the Dragon Ball Z games. Please focus, thank you. But yeah, the Dragon Ball Z fighting games over here, like I don't know. They just kind of play the same to me, so there's not really much sense in talking about it. This, though, this is a 2D fighting game, and it has a bunch of SNK characters in it. And that includes, like, the Metal Slug games. I think there's a couple King of Fighter game characters in there. It's basically just Neo Geo characters, which is pretty cool. Odin Sphere. This got a remaster on the PS4, which is pretty cool. So I would probably just pick up that version. But this is about like Norse mythology, done in a very good, very awesome art style. Pretty much what you see right here, that's pretty much the art style for it. They have another game that's like that on the Wii, which is... actually, they just ported that one to the Vita as well. The Vita and the PS4, I believe... Oh, let's actually take a quick look at the Wii collection real quick. This isn't a Wii collection video either. I just put it back over here, too. Oh, yeah, here we go. Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Same art style. I think it's the same art director. I'm not sure. I think maybe the same people. I don't know, but it's very, very similar. Pretty much the same exact art style as that. So, anyway. Pac-Man Fever, it's a party game. Not a very good one. Pac-Man World 3, it's a platforming puzzle game. I've played the other Pac-Man World games. They're pretty good. Peter Jackson's King Kong, a very underrated gem. This is a first-person shooter some of the time, and then other times you actually play as King Kong himself, which is really cool. But yeah, you face off against the creature denizens of Skull Island as Jack. It's pretty much just the movie, but it's a really good game, and you actually use like the environment to your advantage in a lot of situations as you play as Jack, which I think is really cool for a game like this. But yeah, Phantom Brave, another strategy RPG where you can actually knock enemies out of bounds, which is pretty cool. But same people who did Disgaea. So, very cool. Psyops, a third-person shooter, I believe. Yeah, I need to actually play this. This looks pretty good. Got this as a birthday present, actually. It was either a birthday or a Christmas present, but someone, one of my really good friends, they thought I'd like this game, and honestly, I played a little bit of it. I kind of do. Let's see, Ratchet Deadlocked. I played this game quite a lot as a kid, to the point of beating it. I love this one. I actually haven't beaten any other Ratchet and Clank game, but it's kind of weird seeing as Ratchet isn't even like in this game that much. He just kind of helps you out as like basically like your earpiece kind of guy. Like he just kind of talks to you over the intercoms and stuff, and he just kind of helps you out. Raw Danger. I haven't played this yet, but I've heard very good things. It has a different name in Japan, which I cannot pronounce for the life of me. But yeah, this is basically a survival natural disaster game, which is really cool. Red Faction. First-person shooter. It's kind of cool. Rivet King. It's golf with frogs. The less I say about it, I guess the better. Robotech. If you played a mech shooter game, then you probably played Robotech. Rogue Galaxy, a really cool RPG. If you hear sniffing outside the door, that is my dog. But yeah, I've played a okay amount of this game. It's pretty good, actually. If they were to do a remake or a remaster of this, that'd be beautiful. Shadow of the Colossus. I mean, if you've heard of this game, then you probably know about it. The Shin Megami Tensei games. You got Digital Devil Saga. Haven't started that yet. You got Nocturne. Haven't started that yet. Persona 3 Fez. I have started this, and I've also beaten this game. It took me about 80 hours to beat this. It is a beautiful, awesome game with an awesome story. And with that, I started Persona 4, and I haven't played it since, which I should probably get on that, because the Persona series is pretty awesome, and so is the Shin Megami Tensei games, which I should probably get on playing those. Silent Scope, an arcadey shoot-'em-up game. Simpsons Hit and Run, a classic GTA spoof kind of game. And then Road Rage is a classic Crazy Taxi spoof game. Both awesome games. Slay, I think that's how this is pronounced. Steel Lancer Arena International. This was meant to be an online kind of game, and I think they actually did. Yeah, you could play up to 1 to 2 players online with, with with a network adapter, you could play 1 to 4 players with this. So that's pretty cool. It's like a tournament mech suit game. It's kind of cool. Picked it up for like $3, I think. SOCOM. I mean, if you've played SOCOM games, you should probably know what this is. It's like tactical USA against terrorism kind of game. Sonic Mega Collection Plus. Pretty cool to just have all the Sonic games all in one little compact disc. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. Sonic Riders. I haven't really played it that much. Soul Calibur 3. I like this one because it started the whole character creation aspect of Soul Calibur, which means it also started the incredibly awful and creative part of Soul Calibur, which people still to this day create awesome characters from both their own minds and fiction that has already been done. Seriously, you try fighting a Gabe Newell in Soul Calibur 3, or in the newest one, 6. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. I played a tiny bit of this game, but it's like an action puzzle game. So, it's kind of cool. Spider-Man's 1 and 3. I have 2 on GameCube. These 2 do not compare to 2 at all, because they don't have the pizza song. Spy Hunter. I don't know what that game is. SSX. It's snowboarding. You like snowboarding? I'm sure you do. Star Wars Battlefront. This is an amazing game. An awesome game. I have the second one, which is even better, on the original Xbox over here somewhere. Street. It's NBA. I think I played this a long time ago when I was a kid. Tekken 4, another 3D fighting game. I like games like this, especially Tekken. And speaking of that, Tekken Tag Tournament. You basically just tag out. You have another character that you can switch off with. The Thing. It's a horror game based on the movie. Oh, and I didn't bother taking the price tag off. That's nice. But yeah, based off the John Carpenter film. I think this is a prequel to it, so that's pretty cool. Time Splitters, the original. This one's okay. It took me about half an hour on easy mode to beat the main story-ish. So, yeah, you can breeze through it. There's not much of a story to this, just that time splitters or these time creatures steal time crystals and you have to go back and steal them back. Time Splitters 2 has more of a story, which you do much of the same. You fight back the time creatures, you take the crystals, and you go to different points in time in this awesome, and I mean it, it's a really awesome first-person shooter. I would say it's better than GoldenEye, 100%, and it is a successor to GoldenEye, in my opinion. It is one of the best ones. And with that being said as well, Future Perfect, an even better game. I honestly think this is the best of the 3 games because it has more of a story than any of them. And I love the story. It's funny, it's quirky, and I love the action. It's really awesome. TMNT. Barely played it. Tokobot. It's a puzzle game where you have these little bots that connect with each other and they form different kind of like what do you call it? They form like ladders, bridges, like you name it. They form it and they help you out in your adventure. Tony Hawk. It's skateboarding. Tony Hawk. It's skateboarding. Twisted Metal Black. It's pretty good Twisted Metal game. I mean, it's just racing and destruction derby esque game. Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior, a first-person shooter that takes place in the 40K universe, which is pretty cool. Wipeout, a racing game, and I like games like this. They're like futuristic F-Zero kind of games, and I think F-Zero was the inspiration behind Wipeout. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but Wipeout is really fun. I actually have another Wipeout game. I think on... No, I thought I had one on PSP. Guess not. Oh well. Xenosaga. I used to own all 3 Xenosaga games, but I was an idiot and sold the other 2. But I should probably play through the first one before I get my hopes up of ever getting the other 2 again. So, yeah, it's an RPG. I, again, barely played it. Zatch Bell, Mamoto Battles. Remember Zatch Bell? I kind of remember it. But, yeah, it's a fighting game. Pretty cool. And with that being said, that's my entire PS2 collection at the moment as of 2019. So, yeah, pretty cool. I think I've gotten myself a pretty decent amount of games that I should probably get through. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what games you think I should own. If you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know, and I'll definitely look into getting more games that I probably shouldn't pick up at the moment because I have so many other games to beat. I mean, look at all this. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and as always, it's okay to be a little crazy about the PlayStation 2. See you guys next time.